Welcome to one of my offices. My name is Viva Cundliffe. I'm the Chief Executive and Technical Officer of GC Green Carbon Incorporated. And I'm the person who, in the previous film, did not show her head while describing the CO2 total stack solution that our company offers to power plants, primarily coal-fired power plants at this time, which are being shut down. The talk that I want to give right now is geared towards the ordinary citizen who has been living through a time where we have seen industry being pummeled for carbon dioxide being emitted into the atmosphere, and we have a definite increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide levels occurring. There's no doubt about that. That's what the data says to science. How much it affects our weather and our plants and our well-being can be attributed to a number of different things that are going on. But I would just like to talk about the world of carbon dioxide that I've been living in, which has been very, very interesting since I first took a look at what was going on with CO2 and what scientists thought about CO2 back in 2007 is where I'd like to start. At the time, when I looked at carbon dioxide, I met with a very kind and wonderful chemical engineer by the name of John Russick, who was teaching at Purdue University and had a company of his own working on hydrogen peroxide. And he did a significant amount of mentoring with me at the time. And by the time 2007 came around, I went from a technology to help the atmosphere cleanse itself through the hydrooxygens to looking at carbon dioxide. So what I decided was if everything was right with the way nature usually progresses and humanity usually progresses, is that any problem that is confronted to humanity, that we will, if we look around, find the solution to that problem if we look far enough and hard enough. So I began a quest with carbon dioxide to directly confront it and see about how to technically separate the carbon from the oxygen. And so that took me into several different areas that you would know of in a general way, like fuel cell technology, super high heating elements, different metallic catalysts and non-metallic catalysts, catalysts that help reactions occur by making the energy required to make those reactions happen a lot lower. So I have been able to combine some fuel cell technology with carbon dioxide and pressurize the carbon dioxide and keep it encased and force it to separate. And we have also had the great opportunity to look at other properties of carbon dioxide, such as the dry icing property, which is basically a real gift for humanity in terms of cooling. Dry ice is used to flash freeze a lot of our food. So we end up with properly frozen produce in our supermarkets. This property is also a gift when you put it on an industrial site where you need to cool down return fluid, for example, from a boiler in a power plant. You don't need a giant cooling tower. All you need is a dry ice cooling system, which is much more compact, has a smaller footprint, and is much less expensive, and doesn't put toxins in the water to stop the algae from growing and so on and so forth. People who know about cooling towers know that they have some issues as well as being very large footprint. So we also have the cooling. Fortunately, we've also had an opportunity to separate the oxygen and the carbon and then bring it back together and light it on fire. So we know that we actually have created a plasma fuel as well. So I have in the previous film shown the overall technology layout for that, and what we have done is basically added a lot of knowledge about how to utilize CO2 on a work site as a fuel and a coolant, and also a mechanical cleanser, self-cleanser as well. That's another property that CO2 is utilized for, is for sandblasting, and it applies in the technology to help keep the pipes clean. So everything is using CO2. The turbines that we have also run with CO2 that's been warmed up. So we have really gone deep into the carbon dioxide and found that it can all come together in a coherent industrial application, and we don't have to be emitting so much CO2 to the atmosphere. We can actually use it because it's an incredibly valuable compound. So I will be putting forward more videos about this technology on YouTube, and I just wanted to give you a personal introduction to the technology that was featured with the white paper. It's just off to my right now. If you haven't seen the film, please have a look at it, and we will also be gearing one film towards the people in the coal industry that have lost their jobs or lost their company to the shutdowns because of the policy that is coming out against CO2. What we would like to do is reach across to the policymakers and also the people in the coal industry to network and get this video viral, both of these videos from our website viral, so that they understand that we are ready. We have removed our technical risk issues, and we are ready to come and build CO2 total stack solutions anywhere they are wanted, so that the world, and particularly right now the United States, can have their energy security and stability. Thank you.